Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Hey everybody, welcome aboard. This is episode number 8 of ResortLoop.com. I'm your host, Tim Scott.
And I'm Bob Collar in the beautiful palatial studios of ResortLoop.com. Thank you for inviting me to these digs. They're amazing.
It is but my pleasure. I thought you would appreciate all the oak.
The oak is amazing. The view outside, I never realized you had that big of a lake out in front of your house. That's amazing.
Well, we don't like to brag.
And the fountain, wow. Wow. Skywalker Studios has nothing on you.
Nothing at all. Nothing, absolutely. Well, Bob, I thought for today's episode we would go over the moderate resorts.
Outstanding. Let's do that.
Tell people a little about the moderates, about what we like about them, about maybe what will be our favorite one, why we might stay at some of them.
I like it.
Excellent.
I like it.
Let's start off by telling people a little about the moderates.
Okay. I would think a lot of people are going to look at the moderates, I think, and think, it's just a little bit of an upgrade from the value resorts.
Yes, a lot of people would.
Mostly because of the outside entryways.
Correct.
The two things that I have found that have distinguished the moderates from the value is, one, they have better places to eat.
Yes.
They actually have sit-down restaurants at all of the moderates, where the values have no sit-down. It's all the food court stuff. Mm-hmm. They do have food courts as well, but they have the sit-down restaurants. The second thing is 2 sinks.
Oh.
All their rooms have 2 sinks, which, as you know, having a daughter and a wife getting ready at the same time, for me, that was huge.
That comes in very handy. To
have the 2 sinks. So those are the two really big things that I could find, other than, of course, the overall looks of the resorts.
Right.
So those are really the only differences. The room sizes, I think, are about the same, yeah?
I think they're a little bit bigger, but yeah, they're pretty close.
Yeah.
I will say, I think that the difference in rooms or difference in theming is actually a bigger jump from the value to the moderates than it is from the moderates to the deluxe. I think you notice the difference a lot more.
I agree. You're right. The values are great because they're inexpensive, but you get a lot of the kids just running amok there. I know we were at All-Star Sports during one of the Pop Warner activities. Oh my gosh. Forget about that food court that week. It was crazy. So, okay, so why don't you tell everybody, what are the 3 moderate resorts then?
So you have the Coronado Springs.
Coronado Springs, fantastic. Southwest themed.
Southwest, yes. The Caribbean Beach Resort. I
love the Caribbean Beach.
And then you have the, I still, to this day, want to call it Dixie Landings. Still.
It used to be Dixie Landings and Port Orleans. So you had 2, actually.
Yes.
And then they combined them for the Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter.
Yes, they did.
It's strange. They don't talk about what the alligator bayous are.
They don't. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it gets lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
Weird.
And then don't forget the fourth that I usually seem to forget is the cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness
are considered moderates.
Yes. Now those you can cook in those, right?
Yes.
They have full kitchens.
Yes, you can.
And that's phenomenal. Those are probably bigger than any of the other ones because they have a bedroom, don't they? I believe they have.
I think they have a bedroom, and then I think they have a Murphy bed. I've not stayed in the cabins.
Yeah, I'm just going by the pictures myself. I've never stayed there either. Now, I have stayed in Caribbean Beach, and I've stayed in Coronado Springs.
Yes.
I have not stayed at Port Orleans, either Riverside, Alligator Bayou, or French Quarter. And, of course, I just said I didn't stay at the cabins, but I know we talked about this before, and I'm going to change my mind.
Okay. You are welcome to. This one time only.
I'm going to say my favorite is Port Orleans.
Oh.
I know. We talked about it. I said before that Coronado Springs was my favorite. But
yes.
I changed my mind, and it's because of the fact that you have multiple ways of getting places. I forgot about the fact that you could take a boat ride on the Sassagoula down to downtown Disney.
That is a good call because you don't have to park at downtown Disney that way. Parking down there is a disaster.
We have parked, I think we parked at the Magic Kingdom and had to walk to downtown Disney. That's how far it felt anyway.
So you got to do what I do. You see an open spot, you tell your kids run across there, lay down in the parking spot until you can get back around, and then not to move until they see your van.
A little dangerous.
No, but parking is valuable over there. I'm just saying.
We are in no way affiliated with the Walt Disney Company.
None at all. And I do not endorse, nor actually do that in my own personal life.
You have never had child services come to your house?
No, never.
No, technically.
No. Not where we'd let them in.
So what would you... Okay, so I said what my favorite would be. What would your favorite be?
My favorite is actually, as of now, subject to change, but right now, Coronado Springs. I love the theming. I love the Southwest look.
It is very nice.
It's beautiful.
Now, where did you guys stay when you stayed there? Do you remember what they were called? The Casistas?
I think we've stayed in the Casistas, and is the Cabanas another one?
The Cabanas and the Rancheros. We stayed in the Rancheros.
Okay.
Loved it.
Yeah, I loved it as well.
I'm not knocking any of them. Too bad. But yeah, I would go Coronado for my second.
Okay.
I love the Pepper Market.
Pepper Market is good.
We have that the last time we went down there, that was the first place we ate.
Okay.
We drove straight. We were staying at Pop Century, and we drove right over to Pepper Market and had our lunch before we even checked into the hotel.
Okay. I will say I enjoy the pool. I enjoy my themed water pools.
Absolutely. That pool's fantastic.
It's a nice large pool. It's got the pyramid there. I do like that.
And don't forget the Jaguar slide, as the English would say.
Oh, my.
All of our English listeners out there, the Jaguar slide.
They know that when they come over for their fortnight.
I don't think they say that anymore.
I think I hear it every time I watch Wimbledon.
All of them have slides now, don't they? Because they just refurbished the Caribbean Beach about 5 years ago or so.
Yeah. Yes, I think they all do have slides.
Pirate themed.
I think that's another thing that sets it apart from the Values. I don't think the Values have any kind of real water slides there,
no
do
slides.
They?
No. And speaking of the Caribbean Beach, not that we're hopping around, but we're hopping around.
We're hopping a little bit. Try to keep up.
And pirate theme is they have in the rooms
the pirate-themed rooms with the pirate beds,
which you don't get with any of the other moderate resorts.
No other pirate beds, no.
Right. And the only other place you can get any kind of theming now is the arts and animation, I believe, in the rooms, correct? I think.
I think there are there princess rooms at the French Quarter?
You know what? You're right. You are correct. Man, see.
That never happens.
This is why I have visited, once again, the palatial studios here at ResortLoop.com. You're right, yeah. Ever since Princess and the Frog came out, didn't they refurbish?
I believe they did.
Or it might have been just before.
And if it turns out we're inaccurate on that, I will edit this part out, and our fantastic audience will not hear this part.
Well, I mean, most of our recordings are about 2 hours long, and you have to edit out most of it, which ends up being about 20 minutes.
So. I keep the valuable part in there, which is about 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you do have, I forgot all about that. See, there's so much that you miss.
There is. And remember, we're not local down there. We're 1,000 miles away. We're one of the few Northeast Ohio-based Disney podcasts.
That's right. We're the ones that are going out with our snow boots on to leave the studios today.
That's right.
Back to Coronado Springs.
Okay.
I love Coronado Springs except for how big it is.
It is large. But I'll be honest, that doesn't matter to us too much when we travel. Because you know me, I always like to have a car.
That's true.
I always like to either have driven there myself or have picked up a rental car at the airport.
Very good.
Coronado is perfect, I feel, if you have a rental car.
You really can park pretty close to your room.
You can park relatively close, and then getting anywhere else around the resort, for the most part, is actually very easy from Coronado. There's not as many stoplights.
Right. That's true. When you hop on, you're hopping on mostly the quote-unquote Disney highway system.
Yes.
So it is. It's easier to get around. Not so much at Caribbean Beach.
Yes, that's kind of what behind Epcot, next to the studios. Lots of traffic lights over in there.
Lots of traffic. Too close to Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. Or Typhoon Lagoon. Blizzard Beach is over by more toward Coronado Springs, I think.
I think so. And I think if you're going from Coronado to Hollywood Studios, I think you only have 1 or 2 lights, once you get off the highway there.
Right.
I do believe. And that's huge. And it's just a right turn from there right into, so you don't have to worry about turning left.
Right. Now, staying with that same theme, getting around easy, Port Orleans is the same way.
That's true. That one's not bad either.
You can sneak in kind of the back way to not only to downtown Disney,
yes,
but you can sneak in the back way to Magic Kingdom.
I'm a huge fan of those back ways there.
It's so much more convenient.
You pop out kind of like behind the marketplace. You don't have all those other stoplights along the way as you're traveling along the side of Pleasure Island there, right there.
Right, exactly. And then again, like we talked about, you have the boat as well going from Port Orleans.
I've not done that boat, but I've heard fantastic things about that boat getting to downtown Disney.
I would think that would be a very relaxing way to get back and forth to downtown Disney.
I believe you go by the tree houses. I thought somebody had said.
I know you go past Saratoga Springs.
Oh, then you must.
So you must, yeah. So that would be a nice way to go. Now, jumping over to Caribbean Beach.
Okay.
I like their food court.
They do have a good food court.
Because it feels like you're in a little Caribbean town.
Yes, a little Caribbean market almost.
Yeah, the ceiling's painted like the sky. And I think, doesn't it change to night sometimes? Doesn't it go a little bit dark so it looks like it's a night sky? And it seems like it did. I can't remember.
That could be. I don't remember. I can't recall. I'm not qualified.
You're qualified. Please.
Oh, stop it.
But there, too, that's an awfully big resort.
Again, it's spread out. I think it's another one that's geared. At least I know I would enjoy it more if I had a rental car.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of the buses. Not that there's anything wrong with the buses.
Yeah.
It's just not kind of my thing.
You could probably spend, and I don't have the statistic in front of me, but you could probably spend a good 10 or 15 minutes just on the bus going around Caribbean Beach.
Oh, I would think so. If you're the first stop.
Right.
And you have to wait till they stop everywhere else before they go to your destination park.
Right, because they stop at the themed buildings.
Yes.
So, yeah, you could be on that bus for a little while, just going around your resort, depending on where your stop is at. Or when you come back, you could be on long if you're the last stop. So.
Right. I don't have that kind of patience myself.
No.
I realize it's probably the way to go if you're going to the Magic Kingdom, because it drops you off right in front there. But still, we just drive. We take the tram ride, and then we hop on the ferry or the monorail, and we just go that route.
Yep. Now, everybody or a lot of the blogs are saying now, though, the best way to get to Magic Kingdom, no matter where you're staying on Disney property, is to take the bus, because it drops you right at main gate.
That's true. I have heard that.
You don't have to go to the TTA, and you don't have to take the monorail or the ferry boats over.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get dropped off, and that cuts about 10 minutes of your time. That's what some people are saying.
That's true.
I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to have to time it out next time.
I just don't like at the end, I guess either way you might have to take a bus. I don't like being on a big crowded bus.
Yes, I've done that.
I'd rather maybe just take the ferry boat over and get to my car. Although, you're walking further, but...
Yeah.
You can't go to Disney and not expect to walk some. So.
I am with you. I will always drive. Even if I'm flying down, I'm renting a car. It's just easier. We did do the buses one year, and it was a little tough. A little tough. My daughter was young, and she, of course, tired out right away, and the bus we got on was jam-packed. And I ended up standing for 20 minutes on our way back to the resort holding my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And that was exhausting. My arm was killing me. It was. I couldn't wait to get to bed. But anyway, back to the moderates.
Can I give you a tip about my moderates?
Please.
When I stay at the moderates, now I take this for what it's worth, I don't believe in really paying for an extra view. Like saying you want the lake view or the pool view necessarily.
Yep.
Because you got to remember, you have outdoor corridors. Everyone's outside. So if you have your blinds open to take a look at anything, people are walking by that all the time, looking in, seeing what you're doing.
That is a great call.
I just don't see paying extra money for that.
Right. It's not like you have a private balcony you're going to go out on.
Right. It's not like you're at the Polynesian with a pool view.
Right. Right, or Magic Kingdom view.
And if you're like me and you're taking a car, you don't mind being actually close to the parking lot.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker getting in and out.
So that's the Tim Scott tip for the day.
There you go.
Involving the moderates.
There you go. Now, they all have multiple pools. They have a themed pool. I do like the Port Orleans theme pool with the dragon. I guess it is the water dragon, and that's a slide. That's very cool. And then they also have the quiet pools at different spots throughout the resorts.
And sometimes you just want a quiet pool.
Yes.
You just want to slip in the water, cool down. You don't want a bunch of kids running around splashing.
Yeah, sliding on a slide and all that stuff, getting crazy. Some things to watch out for.
Okay.
Some things to watch out for. Caribbean Beach, as we said, very large. You're going to be, if you got to be careful what building you're in, because you could be on the other side of that little lake, and then, taking that hike to go get coffee or taking that hike to go to the food court. It's going to be kind of rough.
That's true.
It's a long, long walk.
So that might be one way you might want to. One thing you want to opt for: spend a little extra money, get the preferred rooms at the moderates,
which is a little bit closer.
They're closer to the main buildings where the food courts are.
Right.
I don't think those are actually view related so much.
No, I think just like the values, I think it's completely based on convenience.
Right.
To the main building. Yeah.
And if you're going to be using the food courts a lot, you might want to consider that.
Yep. Coronado Springs, it's a convention resort.
That's true.
Maybe crowded.
It could be.
Check to see. This is a tip I've given everybody that ever asked me. Check to see when the conventions are going on. What convention is going on at the time you're going? It could determine how crowded your resort's going to be or how crowded Disney World's going to be. You don't want to go down there when they're having some crazy thing, like I did, going down and staying at the All-Star Sports when Pop Warner was going on. And you had just thousands of kids and a handful of chaperones
running zone defense.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it was crazy. So that's a consideration.
That is a good one
at Coronado Springs. And the one that affects me, I don't know if it's going to affect everybody, but Port Orleans French Quarter is Mardi Gras themed. It's New Orleans themed.
Yes.
Which has those big crazy masks that they have for Mardi Gras.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And it freaks my kids out.
They're clown-like.
My son, and he's older now. He's almost a teenager. He doesn't want to stay there because those freak him out.
Do you still wake him up in the middle of the night wearing one of those?
No, it's usually a hockey mask, but
okay. And a chainsaw.
And I go, "You want to come out and help me cut some wood?" And he freaks out, and but yeah. So I don't know. Those are deal breakers,
right?
Of them?
Just something to be aware of.
But just something to be aware of. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
it's a good call.
Now, I will say this: another reason why I changed my favorite from Coronado to Port Orleans,
which you're allowed to do,
is we're thinking about taking the dog with us this year.
Oh, okay.
And staying at the pet resort. The pet resort's right across the street from Port Orleans.
Oh, excellent. That would be a good call for you guys.
It's easy. If we want to go check on the dog, we just virtually walk across the street, depending on where our room's at. But it'll be nice because we can just shoot over there, check on the dog. If we stay all the way out at, we were actually thinking about staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It is so far away.
That's far away from anything.
From the pet resort.
Yes.
That it's going to be tough to go just check on the dog if we want to just shoot over there.
We'll have to do a podcast on that when you get back. I'd like to hear how that goes.
Absolutely.
I'm sure our listeners would too. A lot of people like to travel with their pets.
I'm curious. It looks fantastic. And the price compared to keeping him here, it's a wash because we'd have to have him here 2 or 3 extra days because of our travel time. We're driving down, we're not flying down. So the extra couple of days are what's going to cost us. And so it's a wash. We might as well take him with us.
Your dog travel well?
He does.
Oh, that helps.
He does well, yeah. We took him to Texas with us, so.
That's a road trip there.
That was interesting. That's a whole other kind of podcast. Would give us a whole different kind of rating on iTunes. Anything else that you can think of? Good tip for the moderates.
I will say, last time we did go to Coronado Springs, They offered the express check-ins now, which I think they might do resort-wide. I don't really know.
Oh, wow.
I know they do it at the moderates. We didn't do it. I just have this thing where I'd like to actually talk to a cast member.
I do too.
I want to make sure I'm happy with the room location before I actually go there.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to take care of at the time rather than come back and say I'm really not happy with the room.
I agree. And just a little side thing, I like talking to people. I like having that interaction, because then you've got somebody to say, hey, Joe over there told me that it was going to be this way, and it's not this way. Or Joe over there was fantastic. He helped me out.
Yes.
They can give you tips. A kiosk is not going to help you out.
No, they're just going to throw your keys in the envelope. And
Exactly. So I agree with you. I'd rather actually talk to somebody. A little tip, don't go anywhere near the water. Last time we were there, we're walking along the edge of the water, and my daughter poked me, and she said, Dad, look, there's an alligator. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And she goes, no, Dad, really, there's an alligator. And I looked over, and sure enough, there was about a 6-foot alligator swimming in the little lake out there.
You didn't see Captain Hook there also, did you? Because that could be...
I heard some tick-tocking.
Okay.
But I don't know what that was.
I love those themed alligators.
That could be the voices in my head, though. Oh, another real quick tip is if you're going to rent water mice, the little speedboats, I recommend not doing it. This is going to make Disney mad, but I recommend not doing it unless you're looking for a gentler speedboat ride. Don't do it over at Caribbean Beach, because they've got a smaller lake.
Okay.
And you really can't get up to speed, and the boats are throttled down, so you really can't go. We're over at the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, you rent them over there, those things take off.
Oh, plus you're going to have much better views.
Oh, yeah.
You'd rather pay to see that, the contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Magic Kingdom than
Absolutely, yeah.
Your hotel.
Last time we went right up by Space Mountain.
Oh,
very cool.
That is awesome.
In the water, yeah. So that's all I got.
Okay, well, for our listeners out there, be sure to look us up on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/ResortLoop. You can look me up on Twitter. I'm ResortLoop Tim.
I'm ResortLoop Bob.
We're both on the Twitter. We're tweeting like mad.
Oh, my gosh. Social media is killing me.
We got a whole bunch of new friends. This has been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yes. And speaking of friends,
yes,
special shout out to our very first blogger, Chris. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for the feedback.
That made our day. We love that.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
We're texting back and forth. We got a comment.
So thanks a lot. And everybody, let us know what your impressions are of the moderate resorts. Give us a little story, and we'll talk about it on the air.
We'd love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll try to get some guys on the show.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be a blast.
Yep. Anything you want to talk about from one of our older podcasts, or anything you can think of that you just want to talk about, send us a little email, a little note, and we'll put you on the air.
We'll squeeze it on the show. It'd be fantastic.
That'll be cool.
All right, well, look us up on ResortLoop.com. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
We'll see you next time.
See you, everybody.
That went well.